Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It is your host, Charvelle Holder-Dobard here, and I have a great new group of boss babes that I want to chat with you guys. They are running and facilitating the New England Cell Phone Film Festival. It's a completely new film festival targeted towards a younger audience, those who are between the ages of, I believe it's, let's see, I have it here, 14 to 24. And it's super exciting because this is actually a product of the coronavirus. So while we've been talking about how people have been adapting over the past couple of months because of the virus, we are about to witness a group that has already adapted and already created a project that people can do during these trying times, these changing times, and exactly how we can, encourage the youth to start creating and teach them tools and tricks on how to do that successfully, efficiently, and with ease. And so this is a really exciting chat, and I'm going to bring on our group of killer girl bosses. We have Nerissa Williams-Scott. Here we go. Jillian Towson. All right, Melody. And last but not least, we have Caterina. Hello, ladies. Thank you so much for joining me.
Hi.
Hello, hello. So we're going to go through. I want everybody to introduce yourselves. Nerissa, let's start with you.
I am Nerissa Williams-Scott. I am the assistant manager at the Paramount Film Soundstage at Emerson. Been there now for almost 11 years. Whoa. In the process of being there, I also got my MFA from Emerson from VMA with a producing emphasis, and we started the company that Child Got Talent Entertainment. We are a live event as well as movie-driven production-based company out of New England, and I think that's all I should say at the moment.
I love it. No worries. All right. So we got an alum and a current staff member. So very awesome. Thank you for all your hard work. And also just, kind of organizing this and being, this facilitator for this wonderful group of girls who want to make a difference. So
absolutely. I'm having a good time.
Yeah. Awesome. That's what we love. You want it to be fun, right?
Yes.
Passion and fun. So that's great. All right.
Absolutely.
Jilly, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Jillian Towson. I am a junior at Emerson College. I'm a marketing major with a minor in photography, and I'm the social media director at TCGT.
Awesome. Great. Caterina?
Hi, everyone. My name is Caterina Aragon Lopez. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the educational coordinator at TCGT. I also graduated from Emerson in 2019 with a BFA in theater education and performance and a minor in Latin American and Latinx studies.
Awesome. Thank you. And last but not least, Melody.
Hi, I'm Melody. My pronouns are she, her, hers. And I also graduated with Kata in 2019 from Emerson with a BFA in Theater Design Technology. And I'm actually going back in the fall for my master's in media design because I want to shift my focus into more social justice and community service work. And that's why I started working for Nerissa at TCGT. And I'm fairly new to the team, so I've just been doing a lot of outreach and research.
Amazing. Awesome. So for those who maybe are just tuning in, I'm going to go through the line, but I want each of you in one sentence to kind of say the mission of the New England Cell Phone Film Festival. So Nerissa, let's start with you.
Our mission is to bring forth a platform for young people between the age of 15 and 24 to give voice and light to their experience.
Awesome. Jilly, how about your one sentence?
I'd say the mission of the New England Cell Phone Film Festival is to give a voice to young people who sometimes may feel like they don't have a voice in the current state of our world.
Great. Caterina?
I think the mission of our festival is to remind young people and our young participants that as we are shifting, our society is shifting, that they are the ones that are going to be making history with these videos.
Love it. All right. And Melody?
I think one of our mission would definitely be that helping young people realize that there are unlimited amounts of opportunities and they have so much potential. And just because, it looks like you're limited, it doesn't mean that you can't just go out there and create these opportunities for yourself.
Love that. Amazing. So we actually have like a quick loom here, and this is going to be a little bit of a video that Melody, I know you kind of created, you sent my way, and you're the voiceover over it. And this was part of your email marketing, is that correct?
Yes, so we are planning on sending this to our sponsors for our events. Okay. And so a little bit of disclaimer is this email is mainly talking about, the email specifically, but the information is also the same.
Okay, great. So let's check it out real quick. Kind of like this.
Hello, my name is Melody, and I am an intern at TCGT Entertainment. I'm reaching out to introduce an opportunity that may be of interest to you. We are hosting the upcoming New England Cell Phone Film Festival, and this festival has been created to showcase and support the emerging creative filmmakers aged 15 to 24. The open call for submission has started June 1st and will end on the 23rd of August. All finalists will be showcased in a virtual experience on YouTube Live on October 1st. The awards are given in 3 categories: features, shorts, and rapid fire, and the rewards include cash prizes and other filmmaking tools. I'm reaching out today to see if you or someone you know might be interested in sponsoring our event. I've attached a sponsorship deck in this email, and there are several different options, including in-kind. If you are interested, please contact Nerissa Williams-Scott, and you can find her contact information in the email as well. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and I look forward to hearing back from you.
Don't want to play it twice.
So good. Yes. That's really great.
Yeah, that was
great.
And it's like so cool because I feel like almost everybody should do that comes on here, is like kind of, do like explain yourself with your, scroll through your website. That was so helpful. So ladies, we want to talk, we want to obviously promote this festival, but I also want to talk about the passion behind it, because as I've been talking with you guys the past couple of days, I see how important this mission is to all of you. And I love that you're doing it. This is something that I, as a, young person, would have loved to have seen, Granted, I didn't grow up in the smartphone world, but now that that's a thing, it's like, yeah, like the capacity to create films with your phone is so great. But not only that, but you guys are also teaching some, like tricks, and you're providing the tools as well to these youth, right? Nerissa, that's what you were saying, you were giving them the supplies.
Yes. So, well, let me backtrack a little bit.
Yeah.
So, when COVID-19 hit, we all were scrambling to try to figure out, as everyone, what are we doing? How are we doing this? And normally, by the time April hits, I'm up and running for all of our summer events, and we have live events that we've been commissioned to do for the past few years. And so when COVID hit, obviously all of that stopped. So I had students who normally work with me year round reaching out, asking me about work, because they had no jobs, they had no work. And I was like, I have nothing. So, but I'm not opposed to work. Sometimes you just got to make up your work on your own. You can't expect someone to hand it to you. You got to go out there and get it. So Jilly, who was the first on the field with us, along with some students from Mass Art, they started putting these ideas together, and I was like, great. And when the Mass Art kids said that they couldn't hang with us anymore, I said to Jilly, you still want to do this? And she said, absolutely. And I was like, okay. And then Caterina came on board, and then Kata brought Melody. And I was like, all right, ladies, I guess we're producing a festival. And there it was. And it just started happening. And then things started happening that exponentially. And we had no idea George Floyd was going to happen. Like, that was insane. And then for just the idea of that young lady, basically shooting a one take. She did a one take shot, and she didn't even know what she was doing. She just did it. Yeah. And for me, that was it was beautiful. I mean, granted, what she filmed was horrible, but the way she did it and her aesthetic, her look was amazing. I was so like proud of her for being able to shoot that, and she did it on her phone. So I was like, oh my God, ladies, even more so now our festival is even more important. We need to capitalize on the fact that this is the new revolution behind filmmaking. We need to get these students or these young people to just come together. And I wanted to keep it New England because obviously we're all here in New England, or most of us. And it was just, I felt it would be easier, but I've had people actually reach out to me from other places in the States asking, can they, apply? And I'm like, at this time, because I just knew New England was going to just jump all over it. I didn't want us to have like 1,000 to 5,000 submissions. And we were like, it's only the three of us. So that's why I kept it, strictly New England. But I mean, I've gotten some really great traction from other places. So maybe we need to open it up at another time. I don't know.
Yeah, I could definitely see this, be a huge, national, even international, festival. So, but, we all got to start somewhere. And I love that, you guys are already making those steps to get it off the ground. And it seems like you guys are doing a phenomenal job. So congratulations. And
so we have I'm sorry. I was just going to say we have a really awesome structure too, where not only are we asking people to come in and be a part of the festival by downloading their content, but we also want to give something back. We don't want to just take from them, right? We want to not only give cash prizes and gifts, but we want to give something educational. I'm all about edutainment. That's like where I come from. That's my background. And if you're not learning something, then why are you doing it? So that's where Caterina came in, and she is, because of her education background as far as curriculum and developing education, I was like, here you go. This is the time. And she's developed a really awesome platform for 3 webinars that we're going to be doing in August.
Okay. Awesome. Caterina, do you mind just hopping on and telling us a little bit about those 3 courses?
Yeah, of course. So these courses are going to be on Fridays. It's only 3 classes. They all cover 3 different topics. So we're going to start with the impact on COVID-19 and the film industry. So seeing not just how COVID has affected Hollywood as a big corporation, but also even small independent companies, because those are the ones that are strictly affected economically. And so giving them an idea about how we need to still come together and be able to make art, even if things are difficult. Then the second one is going to be women of color in film, because even though we've had strides in the film industry and in TV and seeing more women of color and especially Black women in television, they're still the most underrepresented group in the film industry. And they're still falling into these tropes that we see in today's television. And so I want to bring light to that to the young audiences so that they can analyze and see how that can change now with their own content and what they choose to see also during their time in quarantine. And then the last one is going to be kind of tips and tricks on how to make film. Because my idea with, and I was telling this to Nerissa, is kind of honing in that now that society is shifting, as I've mentioned in the beginning with the idea of this festival, is also to let them know that because of Black Lives Matter, because of COVID-19, and because of so many social movements, people are not tuning into the same shows that they used to watch before, because now they have a more critical eye. They're seeing like, oh, these comedies are, very using racist commentary, or
problematic,
and you're seeing like the same, like that women of color are falling into these same categories in character development. And so now that audiences are doing that, it is time for the new generation to make new content and to show not only how COVID has affected them, but to document it. And I heard tell me that they are going to be the ones, if they choose to document their history and to be part of it. And so that's what I hope with these courses, that will, give to the students back all of this information that I think is vital for them to know as they're developing. And also, like we're tuning into YouTube, we're having YouTube stars rising, and even those are changing. Like the people that
Right.
are tuning into with accounts, and even like Instagram and TikTok influencers. So there's so many ways that young people can make content, and it doesn't take that much money to make. They don't need fancy equipment for it. And so that's why the last class is going to be those tips and tricks to make those films in a small budget. It's making videos with a small budget, so that they know that not even just doing this this festival, there's going to be many more that they can also submit their work to. Because there's going to be multiple opportunities for this. Like now we're wanting to see more work from young people.
Right. Right. So it's almost like giving them an opportunity, but also helping mold them for future opportunities that are on the horizon, because they're going to be full and plenty, I'm sure. Now, the workshops you're discussing, are those only open to people who are submitting to the festival? How does that work?
I think at this time, we would like to open it in general, just because we want to get, we want to keep it in a young age range. Like I know I have a woman who reached out to me and said, you know, this isn't fair. You know, you need to open this for everybody. I'm over 40, but I can do this too. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm not trying. It's not ageism. I swear. I'm over 40. It's not about that. It's just about providing them a platform. And so I would like it to be for the young people, and you could be anywhere. I mean, if you want to hit me up from Nigeria, let's go. It's open, and we're going to be using a platform called Remo, which is a really amazing platform. So I'm hoping that we can get people to sign up and register and have a good time.
I love that. Okay. So if anybody knows anybody, so it's 15 to 24. That's the age range you're hoping for. So if anybody out there knows anybody that's looking to get into filmmaking, definitely be on the lookout for that. And okay, so let's go a little bit into the outreach, because like you were saying, you would love it to be kind of open to, globally. Jilly, you're in charge of social media, right? So what kind of tools and tricks are you using to do this outreach, to do this promotion and marketing?
So I think it's so important for us to be on social media and promoting this event through our social channels, especially since we're all home and the Black Lives Matter movement is through social media, and all these movements are through these outlets. So it's important to reach out to young people through the avenues that they're using. So I've been DMing young people that I see are active on social media and are creating their own films, or they're into photography and they might be interested in creating these films, and they seem to just be interested in using their voice and sharing their stories. And that's what this film festival is about. It's about using your voice and sharing your stories. So just reaching out to them and not always waiting for them to find us.
Kind of getting ahead of everything.
I would say that Jilly's being a little modest, because she is literally taking our social media game to a whole new level. I mean, from where she started back in what January? March.
February.
No, it was January. Remember, you were in my office.
Oh yeah.
Yes. It was. I know it's so long ago, but from that moment to now, she has built this amazing social media presence, not only for the festival, but for TCGT, based on just her. She's got eye-gripping, engaging. People are commenting. Like she's really built up our following. I won't say that we have 1 million, but we'll get there.
Yeah. In due time. So we have a quick question here from the audience. How can we share this with other young people? What is the best way to essentially, copy and paste into somebody we think would, be a great candidate?
Are we asking about sharing the festival, or there being a part of the festival?
Let's do both. Let's do what's the best way to, get somebody involved with the festival, and then maybe what's the best way for them to get involved with the workshops that you have coming up.
Okay, so what they can do is, to find out more information about the festival, the Film Freeway page is the best way to find out all about. It's at the bottom. About the Film Freeway page is the best way to find out about the festival, all of the categories. If you know someone that's in the New England area and you want them to submit, they just go into the Film Freeway and upload, and there you have it. If you're interested in being a part of the festival, maybe working with us in some kind of way, you have a skill set that you feel would be, advantageous to what we're doing, totally open to that as well. You can send an email to Martine, MARTINE at tcgtentertainment.com. Martine is our office manager / executive assistant. She takes care of all that scheduling. I swear if I didn't have her, I don't know where I'd be. But it's Martine at tcgtentertainment.com. And if you're interested in the webinars that we're going to be doing in August, you can reach out to Caterina, and she's Caterina at tcgtentertainment.com.
Okay, great. Awesome. So we have, so for those out there who are looking, now you know. And also, so is there opportunities for people who are not in New England to kind of get involved? Is there anything that people can do? Like you were saying, Jilly, like we're all home right now. How can EBONI alumni across the world and the country help you guys? Is it a promoting? Is it a sharing your social media posts, sharing your links with as many people as possible? What can we do to help you guys spread the word?
I think sharing our posts that are talking about the event would be super, super helpful, just so that we can reach as many young people as possible. Because I definitely in high school would have been interested in doing something like this. Like you get paid to share your story. Like that's amazing. I think also just sharing our content with specific individuals that might be interested would also be super helpful. Awesome. Just share.
Nice. Okay, Okua, class of 80, winner of the first New England Film Festival, is so in love with young Emerson. New England Cell Phone Fest, can't wait. Thanks, Okua. We love that. Yes, coming through.
And we'll definitely let you all know, the festival itself is going to be October 1st.
Okay.
And it's going to be YouTube Live. And we're working behind the scenes to get that all built up. And if there's anybody who would like to, branch out and be a sponsor for us and throw their logo up there and be a part of what we're doing, we'd love to have you. We're always looking to bring our outreach, in. And so Melody has been instrumental in doing that. Her outreach has been just absolutely flawless. Shout outs to Flawless Brown. And she's just been, exactly. And she's been absolutely amazing in just helping us to find different inroads to approach funders and what can we do and who could we reach out to, which is even better. She's come up with ideas that I was like, I have no idea, but thinking outside the box is what she does best. So
awesome. Melody, since we haven't heard from you in a while, why don't you tell us a little bit about your approach? You're the latest member to the team, but totally an imperative member. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your strategy there?
Yeah, so I think for me, when I first came into the team, became a part of the team, I think I didn't know what I was really expecting to do. So for me, Nerissa and I had a conversation and I kind of just said, well, anything regarding art and design, aesthetics, anything that I could really help with, I can do. And so that kind of have been like my role in this whole thing, is kind of like anywhere that needs help, I could assist. And then Nerissa would kind of sometimes come to me and be like, Melody, what do you think about this video? Or what do you think about this art or work? And I would kind of like think about it from, not only like our point of view as the organizer of the festival, but also from like a young person's point of view. So it's kind of like introducing different ideas that for me, like as a young adult, like what I would think is interesting and bring that to the table. So I think for me, my approach is definitely like fairly almost like personal, because I would never want to put out something that I would not stand by. And then in terms of outreach, we've been looking at so many different groups of people. working with other nonprofits, reaching out to other nonprofits and asking them, because they're working with youth, to kind of share the word on who might be interested or looking for sponsors in organizations that work with youth that are related to the arts, and that could be interested in kind of helping us either spread the words or, become our sponsor. And I think that is like my biggest role right now, is to kind of reach out to people who are interested. And yeah, I think that's kind of just what I do in my approach. I think it's been amazing, working for Nerissa. And because I only started working probably 2 weeks ago, and I immediately feel like a part of the team, so valued and so respected and so important. I think for me, I think I will say for myself, but this doesn't even feel like work to me,
That's right. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So I think to us, it's all super personal, something that we want to happen, something that we want to bring out to the world. And so I think that is why it is happening the way that it is, because everything is so personal. Everyone's taking care of it the way that they would take care of their own thing.
Right. For sure. Awesome.
The only way we're going to succeed is if we work together.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So I wanted to also make a little bit of clarity. So you guys are putting together the New England Cell Phone Film Festival, but you're working as the organization of that Child Got Talent Entertainment, correct? Mm-hmm. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about the organization on a whole, and that, what else you guys are doing with that organization, just so that we can kind of get a better scope as well.
So keeping in line with my mantra of edutainment, the company is basically focused on a live event and film production. And in the land of COVID, we've had to make adjustments. And so an organization called All Aces Inc., shout out to Dr. Martin, came on board and said, Nerissa, we need your skill set with putting together an event. And I'm like, but we can't have an event. And she's like, oh, no, it's going to be a virtual event. And I'm like, okay, this is different. And so I never really thought about virtual events, but she brought me on board. I learned a new platform called Remo, which I love. And we started putting together these different things, these different conferences on teaching our community. We figured everybody's at home. They have nothing really to do. So what can we do to give them some type of education around building themselves up, becoming entrepreneurs? We began the Human Bridge Collective in doing so. And we bring people together. We have, we bring people to the table who are experts, right? And they talk about whatever the field is. Our last one was on content creation. It's amazing how the steps of this festival just took place. It's absolutely insane. I mean, we were talking about a content creators conference, and that was back in March. Then we piddled around with the festival trying to get it up and running, but then our company also secured a contract with the city of Boston so that we could facilitate giving 100 students who were in high school from the age of 15 to 18 a job for the summer. And so we were thinking, okay, what are we going to do? And then we worked in collaboration with Creative Builders arts program with Hollis Meminger, who's an amazing Hollywood DP. And he has this bridge builder program. And so between him and myself putting together okay, this is what it's going to look like virtually, we came up with this program where we're teaching 15 to 18-year-olds how to make a movie on a cell phone. Mm-hmm. Well, I was like, well, if we're going to pay them to make a movie, we might as well add a little incentive and put a cherry on top. Yeah. And so they can then take their product, their content, and they can put it into the festival. So then we'll have 100 videos from these kids, and then they could win an additional prize. They can win extra money. Not only will they get paid to do it, but they're also going to get a laurel that says that they're fabulous, because we're going to have a Cell Phone Film Festival laurel. And then from there, it's just growing. And I've had, again, like I said, I've had people reach out to me from other parts of the country asking me about being a part of it. And so quite honestly, it has its own mind. It's building and growing on its own. And we just thought we were doing something to have some fun and maybe turn a profit at the same time. But it was more like, we started having so much fun, we forgot. I think I love doing this. I'm having a great time, and the ladies on this program with me right now, they tell me all the time how much of a good time they're having, and so I'm just like, so we're having fun and we're making a difference. This is the way life is supposed to be. We're helping people to break out of their shell. We're helping people learn how to be entrepreneurs, how to promote themselves, how to market themselves. You know, we're pretty much an open book. If you come and you talk to us, we're going to let you know what we know. I don't know if we're necessarily considered an expert in creating a film festival, but we're doing our damnedest.
Mm-hmm. I love that. So, you know, because this is EBONI, Emerson ties us all together. So I want to talk to the three recent alums and current student here. How do you think Emerson and your training or even your extracurriculars have trained you, or what tools are you bringing to the table here because of Emerson? Jilly, why don't we start with you?
So Emerson, as we all know, is a predominantly white institution. And so sometimes, for me at least, that can be really daunting. And I remember one time, it was either in Flawless or in EBONI, we had like a filmmaker come in, and I remember Nerissa was there, and I told her that if I'd gone to Howard, I would have been a film major. And she immediately told me to come and talk to her in my office. And so EBONI and Flawless have always been a space for me where I felt like I could learn to use my voice in any setting, where a space where like my voice grew stronger and I just felt more empowered as a Black woman. So connecting this event, the film festival, with EBONI is really important to me, because both of these spaces have taught me to really use my voice and be more confident in myself. And I want to share that. I want other young people to have that feeling and to have that experience. So,
love that. Yeah. Like passing it forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Melody, how about you?
I think for me, well, first of all, it's the connections, right? Because, you know, I'm able to, you know, find a lot of people who are interested in doing the same things that I'm doing. And Nerissa and I actually met last year on a set that she produced. So I think it's being at Emerson and being able to take those opportunities, and not only just like take them, but like create these crazy opportunities. Because, you know, 2 weeks ago, I just hit up Nerissa in the email and I'm like, hey, love to help, because I heard Caterina was telling me, you know, something about the film festival. And I think just being able to do that and being able to have Emerson people just like welcoming you and helping you kind of take the next step in what you're passionate about. I think that is really important to me. And I think on a more, I guess, technical level, being at Emerson kind of taught me, well, first off, how to, you know, not take no for an answer in all situations, and just kind of make what you want to make happen. And, you know, it doesn't matter what you do, just make it happen because it's the right thing to do, or it's worth your time. And I think that's really important. And I think at Emerson, because my BFA was theater design technology, and I'm not doing anything that is like related to that right now, because I found something that I'm more passionate about. So it's like becoming this well-rounded person that's able to step into the room and say, hi, like, how can I help? Instead of like, oh, I know this one thing, so I'm going to do this one thing. So I think being at Emerson really made me a extremely well-rounded and adaptable person, and being around these ladies here allowed me to do even more of that. And I'm not afraid to like make mistakes and say, oh, actually, I'm not sure how to do this. Can you, elaborate? So, yeah.
I love that. All right. Caterina.
Oh, okay. I hope I don't make anyone mad. But okay, it's going to be fine. So I came to Emerson, and I was an international student. So I came in wanting to do theater. I actually started with the BA major for theater studies, because I had told my mom, I was like, I don't know what I want to do exactly. I know I love theater and I know I love acting. So I did my first 2 years doing that. And then I realized that as I was looking at more professional theater and acting and just the art form itself, I started to feel a little disconnected, not only because I was having a hard time connecting with my faculty and students, or like my classmates, because my experience was so different being a third culture child. I also started to feel as though whenever I would try to have discussions on social justice, on race, and like how theater can make an impact in society, it felt kind of superficial, because it's like you go to a show, they talk about social justice, and then you go home and then that's it. And I felt really weird for 2 years at Emerson with that. I had no idea how to process that in myself, because I was also really young and I had no idea how to express myself during that time. But then I joined Emerson International, which is the organization for international students, and that's where I met the amazing group of cultural leaders, one of them being Flawless and Ebony and Eagle, and all of these people that weren't just there to get their education. They were also there to help the community, spread culture, make activities for students. And that's when I started to realize that I didn't want my time at Emerson to just be about theater, but also a combination of both cultural and social justice, as well as theater. And so I did theater education. And that major, I'm going to say, it taught me everything that I need to know about how to communicate with young people, especially people of color, who the educational system always tells them that they're never going to make it far. Right. And that's where my anger came, where I was like, this is not right. Yeah. This can't be. And so I decided to help Flawless Stage. I had reached out to them and I was like, I want to do some theater with y'all, but I want to learn the back end. And so I worked with them, and then I directed, and that's where I met Nerissa. One of the times that we had to talk about like props and getting this big, massive piece of wood to turn it into something I don't remember anymore. And my time working with Flawless, and also with Tamia, the director of Intercultural Student Affairs, she would always talk about Nerissa and about That Child Got Talent and all the cool things that they were doing. And so I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. I want to be able to do live events, but also reach out to people of color, especially maybe people with my experience, whether they are documented or undocumented immigrants, and see what my art can communicate to them. And so during graduation, it was the student of color graduation, I was talking to Nerissa, and, being the amazing person she is, she was like, we're going to miss you. I know that you're going to go far. If you ever need anything, just let me know. And I was like, okay. And when I was trying to look for jobs, I still had so much of TCGT and so much of all of those new thoughts in my brain. And I was like, I'm going to reach out to Nerissa. And it was just so lovely sitting with her. And, she was like, we usually do live events, but with your expertise, we're going to find something for you to do. And I think that's so new when it comes to the workforce. Like, you don't have many CEOs or bosses that will look at you and say, these are your talents. I'm going to take them and make sure that you are giving it to the community. Mm-hmm. And that's why I was always talking to Melody about all of the projects that were coming up, especially the Cell Phone Film Festival. And I was like, I'm going to be able to teach some stuff. I'm going to be able to communicate about social justice with young people. And Melody and I were like, this is so cool. And so it's literally just a journey. And also just knowing that Emerson was able to be a place where I could find what I wanted to do. Even though I had to kind of be by myself for a little bit because I didn't know where I was going. I just had to search the people that I wanted to be with, and the people that inspired me the most. So that's how I ended up wanting to be part of this festival.
Yeah, I love hearing everybody's journeys. Like Ebony said, we are so proud of all of you. And really, I feel like you guys are almost living the dream with this, combining your passions with your work. It's like that's a lot of people don't even get to do that once in their lifetime. And a lot of people don't even know what they want to do. What is their passion? So for you guys to be able to work that out through Emerson and through Ebony and Flawless Brown and, all the international programming and your majors and to really, I feel like make this leap into, you know, the adult world, but do it so gracefully with purpose and passion. That's so amazing. So congratulations to all of you. We're so proud of you guys.
I just have to say one thing. I didn't realize that when starting this company that this company was going to become a bridge. Mm-hmm. I had no idea. And I can't say that I'm surprised just because I was already a bridge before the company, right? Because I don't know if you know Charvelle, but I've been the co-advisor with Tamia for the last 3 years for EBONI. Right. Mm-hmm. And I got my first taste of being an advisor with Flawless Brown. And so it was very interesting to me. And mind you, I'm doing this all while I'm at the end of my MFA. So I'm like,
right.
Wait, what am I doing here? So it was absolutely crazy. But just the bridge, I found that in being an advisor, there were so many young people who either couldn't get a job right out of college, or they were trying to get an internship over the summer or something. And for some reason, the students of color were having the hardest time. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, but you're Emersonian. Like, you should be able to get, people should be coming to you. You know what I mean? Like, this is we're Emersonians. Like, this didn't make sense to me. But I realized quickly that some of them, they just were not able. And I had a lot of international kids who didn't go home for the summer, or who were here and needed to find something to do. And because idle mind is a devil's playground. So it was almost as if God was sending the kids to me to say, hey, let's go out and let's do something. I mean, we work on BAMS Fest last year and the year before. We were slated to work for the NAACP this summer for the convention. We were able to put together movies and do shorts and commercials, all because they just wanted to be able to do their own thing, and they weren't being allowed. It just didn't make sense to me. And so I've used the company to be that kind of a bridge. So now all three of these ladies can say that they have had a full-time job doing this, and this. And I think I write more recommendations than I can shake a stick. I'm still getting people who graduated asking me if they can get a recommendation letter. I'm like, didn't you graduate like 3 years ago? And they're like, yeah, but come on, Nerissa. And I'm like, okay. So I think that for me is, oh, thank you, Marlene. I think for me that it means so much that especially our young people of color at Emerson have us, the older people who have graduated and are doing things in our fields. It is so imperative that they see us and they hear from us and they recognize that they can call upon us. And I think that EBONI has done an amazing job with reaching back and grabbing and pulling forward. And I want to say thank you to EBONI for that, because I can't tell you how many people have reached out to me like, who do I talk to when I go out to LA? EBONI.
Yep.
And the more beautiful part about it is that they don't all have to be Black.
Right.
It's students of color in general. And EBONI is opening, they open their arms and they take them in. And I just think that that's a really, really beautiful thing. And I'm very grateful that you all in the alum circle out there are helping these kids, because I didn't realize it was going to be as tough for them, being that they went to Emerson. But yes, it is in some instances just, if not tougher.
Exactly. It's you don't know until you get out here. When I came out with the LA program as an Emerson student, I was the only Black student. I didn't have any of my, my EBONI crew. That was my family. And all of a sudden I was without them and feeling really lost. And then all of a sudden I get an email from Nancy and Stephen and Leslie, the former president and, vice presidents. And, they're like, we're having a meeting. And I was like, EBONI, we're here. We have people out here. And so I was like, yes, of course. And it was like, from that jump, like I was family, like I had found my crew yet again. And then they just, now I'm part of that, and we just continue to do that. And so anybody who is, a current Emerson student or Ebony member, Flawless Brown, whatever your organization, Eagle, even, like, we do not care. Like, if you are without that crew, that family that you've created at Emerson, and you come to LA, we will gladly adopt you and become your crew out here. So thank you for noticing that, because I feel like we've worked really hard, especially over the past couple of years, to create that stable environment for these students who really need us. Because to this day, a group of students will come out from Emerson into the LA program, and you still only have 1 or 2 Black students, 1 or 2 maybe international, and it's like those people still need that community. So we're definitely trying to do that here. So yes, it's been great.
I can definitely say, still being on campus, that you all, the Ebony alum in LA, everyone talks about how great you guys are. They really, really do. And because the word comes back, they go out there, they do the program, and then it's like, this is what you do. Kind of like how some people said, go talk to Nerissa.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did that happen? Okay.
You.
Right? I'm getting knocks on my door. Are you Nerissa? I'm like, I don't know. What do you want? So thank you. I really, my heart, thank you, Ebony, because you guys have made it feel really familial.
Awesome. Well, we love that. I want to bring us back to the Film Festival. Let's wrap up a couple loose ends here. We mentioned briefly that there are 3 categories. Nerissa, will you run through exactly what the 3 categories people can submit into?
Sure. We have the feature film portion, which is 10 minutes to 15 minutes, so max of 15 minutes. We have the short, which is 5 to 7 minutes, and we have what we call rapid fire for our TikTokers, and it's a minute and under. You can either do a documentary, you could do a narrative, or you could do a music video, dance video.
Awesome. Super fun. And then Jilly, Caterina, Melody, as like the youngest people in this chat, what would you suggest? Maybe do you have any tips or tricks that you either can give to these youth, these people that are submitting, these kids, or what are you looking for when you are watching these? What do you think will help them stand out a little bit? Jilly, do you start us off?
I'd say really listen to yourself, but also listen to what's going on around you, because sharing your voice right now is especially important, and it's so impactful on those that are around you. So I really want to hear what these young people have to say, and I want to hear them say it passionately. And so that's what I'm excited for.
Awesome. Great. Melody, how about you?
I think to some extent, like, definitely echoing what Jilly said, but at the same time, it's almost like forget about what matters to other people. Forget about what other people think it's good, because this is, you're submitting your work and it matters to you. And that's the most important thing in the world, because it's your project, and it doesn't have to be, the most meaningful, the most beautiful, the most emotional. Like, it doesn't have to be that, because sometimes when, especially I know that as creatives, like myself as well, like, we get so insecure about the work that we do. We say like, oh, what if, but we didn't even work on it that hard, or if it, but that's not what art is about. Art is about, creating things that you think it matters in the moment, and then being able to share that with the world. So yeah, just listen to yourself and don't be afraid to put out things.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, I echo everything Jillian and Melody said. I, as an educator and as a theater kid, I want to see in these videos storytelling of their own truth. And of course, students or like participants can put whatever they want, and that is open. I really want to be able to see the true effects of COVID on young people, especially young Black people and young people of color, because it's the reality of our society. They're the ones that are affected the most, and people have to see, as long as they're okay with it and that's what they want to show, how much they've been impacted by it, because we can't just turn a blind eye anymore.
Yes.
Love that. All right, so just to run through also some of the things we touched on. So if people are interested in the workshops that we discussed, you guys can email Caterina over here at Caterina@tcgtentertainment.com. And then Nerissa, this was for sponsors, right? If they're interested in sponsoring, was it Martine?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys can email Martine at tcgtentertainment.com. And then again, we talked to Jilly about social media. If you guys have social media, if you want to share it, you can find their posts on Twitter at tcgtent or on Instagram at tcgt.ent and also on Facebook at tcgt entertainment. And then this has been scrolling through occasionally, but filmfreeway.com with the New England, I'm waiting for it, the New England Cell Phone Film Festival has basically all the information for anybody who's interested in submitting. This is great. You know, ladies, thank you so much again for coming on, chatting with me, doing all this hard work, and, you know, virus aside, Black Lives Matter aside, you know, everything that's going on, I feel like it's so imperative what you're doing, and I feel like I'm so grateful, you know, even though I can't submit or I'm not in New England, knowing that this exists and then this has, you know, the possibilities of growing and becoming something so much, you know, larger is just, it gives me so much hope for the future because like you guys are saying, like these guys are our future artists, they're our future creators, and for you guys to start, you know, getting that grooming going and that training going at such a young age and, you know, showing them the way, I think is so important. So thank you so much.
Absolutely.
We have a couple comments here. Nancy says, fantastic.
Thank you, Nancy.
Oh, we got a little international here.
That's my uncle.
Thank you.
He's saying you're great. Compliments. Oh, God.
Love it.
He's all the way in Florence.
Yes. And Ebony says, thank you. It is what we do. We got you.
All right.
And it's clear that you guys got us too.
That's
so
right.
Without further ado, thank you ladies so much. You have a great day. Stay safe. And I can't wait to hear about the film festival and all that you guys do.
Absolutely. We'll let you know when everything's coming around. We'll send you all kinds of stuff, Charvelle.
Please do post into the Ebony Alumni Association page so everybody can see it.
Absolutely.
And I'll help promote as much as possible as well.
Thank you.
All right, ladies. I'll see you later.
Bye.
All right. All right, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. What a wonderful group of women just making moves, kicking butts, and just helping the future generations. And if you've been following along, you know that we do this every week. Next week is going to be another great discussion. So we're going to do a festival that's more so over here in Los Angeles, where I'm at. So while today we talked with the New England Cell Phone Film Festival team, next week we're going to be talking with Adela Barnes, and let's see, here it is. And she's the co-founder of the Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival. So a little bit on the more traditional side, right? So we're going to go back to theater. We were looking at TV, film, TikTok, social media. And Adela Barnes is an Emerson alum who is a well-established actress, among many other things. And so I'm excited to talk to her and hear about her experiences in Los Angeles as a woman of color, as an actress, and so much more. So definitely tune in. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm Charvelle Holder-Dobard, and this has been your Ebony Live for the week. Stay safe and stay healthy.